What's the most messed up thing your parents made you do that they called tradition? In my family, we had to survive a week alone in the basement by age 15. And if we couldn't make it the full 7 days, we'd lose our inheritance and get kicked out of the family permanently, while our siblings who passed got everything. My parents believed that comfort made children weak and that real strength only came through forced isolation and survival testing. They'd grown up in families that practiced extreme self-reliance, and they brought this twisted philosophy into our normal suburban house. Dad was obsessed with preparing us for societal collapse after losing his job during the recession. Mom had been abandoned by her own parents at 14 and was determined to make sure we could survive anything life threw at us. The basement test happened on your 15th birthday and was designed to break you mentally and physically. No food provided, just access to tap water. No entertainment, no books, no human contact for 168 hours straight. My older brother Marcus had passed by eating toothpaste and sleeping 16 hours a day to conserve energy. My sister Lily made it through by doing endless push-ups and talking to herself constantly to stay sane. I was labeled as too social from age 10, always needing friends and attention. So my parents designed the cruelest version possible for me. Complete sensory deprivation with blackout curtains and soundproofing they'd installed specifically for these tests. Social people are dependent people, Dad explained while showing me the basement setup. This will teach you that you only need yourself to survive. Everyone else is just a distraction from your inner strength. The basement was basically a concrete box. Gray walls, concrete floor, one folding chair, and a bucket for bathroom needs. They'd removed anything that could provide comfort or stimulation. I had 30 days to mentally prepare, which mostly involved my parents removing privileges daily to simulate the coming isolation. No phone, no friends over, no family dinners, just practice for being completely alone. They made me write letters to my friends explaining why I'd be unavailable for a week, with my parents editing the drafts to make sure I couldn't hint about what was really happening. The worst part was they invited my closest friends to my 15th birthday party, making me celebrate while knowing I'd soon disappear into solitary confinement. My best friend Tyler brought me a video game, and my friend Emma made me a playlist, while my parents watched with satisfaction. 2 days before the test, they escalated by having Marcus and Lily describe how amazing it felt to prove themselves worthy of staying in the family. They talked about the mental clarity and strength they'd gained. Choose weakness and lose everything, Lily warned. I almost gave up on day 5, but pushing through made me realize I don't need anyone. I realized my parents had created a system where family love required surviving torture, and I couldn't win by accepting their twisted game. Instead, I made a choice they hadn't considered. I chose to expose them. On my 15th birthday, I stood in front of everyone and explained exactly what my parents planned to do to me. I told my friends' parents, my teachers who were there, and my grandmother about the basement prison. I choose to reject people who think love requires surviving abuse, I said while my parents' faces turned red with fury. My friend Tyler's mom immediately called child services. Emma's dad, who was a lawyer, started asking detailed questions about previous tests my siblings had endured. The room erupted as adults realized what had been happening in our house for years. My siblings broke down admitting how traumatized they'd been by their survival tests. My parents tried threatening to call the police for defamation, but I was already walking out with Tyler's family, who'd offered to let me stay with them. Child services investigated and found the soundproofed basement setup. My siblings were removed from the house that week. My parents screamed that I destroyed the family, but I realized a real family doesn't make children earn love through suffering.